This is the video lesson for number 8-4. We are going to learn how to construct a regular hexagon inscribed in a circle with the given radius. Okay, so we're going to construct a hexagon, which is a six-sided shape. Regular means that all sides have the same length, and inscribed means that it's inside the circle. Okay, so we're going to go ahead, and the first thing I need to do is I need to pick a point. Okay, so I'm just going to pick my point right here. And that's the very first thing you have to do, is make sure you establish where your point is. Okay, then I'm going to measure my radius. This is the given radius. It's about right there. Okay, so I also want to make sure before I do anything that when I turn this around, fold this in half first. I want to make sure that when I turn this around that I don't go off the page, okay, which I'm not going to do. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now and we're going to make a circle. I find it's much easier just to turn the page. Okay. And our first step now is to just make a point on there. I'm just going to pick any point. I have to keep the same measurement, and I'm going to make 6 arcs giving off that point up here. So you have to be very careful or you're going to get off. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you're careful enough, you should get back to your original mark, 6. Okay, so now to make it a hexagon, we are going to connect all those points that we just created along that circle. Okay, so that is a regular hexagon, which means all 6 sides have the same length, inscribed inside that circle with this given radius. So from here to here has that radius right there. Okay, so number 2. First thing we're going to do is we're going to establish our point, the middle. You have to do that first. You can go ahead and measure the radius. And then we're going to create a circle. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick a point somewhere on there. That's going to be my starting point. And I'm going to keep the same measurement as the radius. If you guys will notice, it's the same measurement. And very carefully, I'm going to go around and make 6 arcs. If you're not careful, you won't make it back to the original one. You'll come up short or go too far. Also, make sure that your arcs are big enough that we can see them. This is your evidence to show that you use the construction method. So once again, we're going to connect the points we just created. Okay, there's my regular hexagon, which means all 6 sides have the same length, that is inscribed in a circle. Okay, on our next page, we are going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to make an equilateral triangle. An equilateral triangle is a triangle where all three sides have the same length. So exact same method at the beginning. We're going to go ahead and establish our point, our center. I'm going to measure my radius that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to make a circle. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same thing before. I'm going to establish my first point, and I'm going to go around and make 6 arcs, just like with the hexagon. This time, instead of connecting all 6 dots, we're going to connect every other dot. So we're going to connect this one, and this one. So now I have an equilateral triangle that is inscribed, so inside a circle. And equilateral means all 3 sides have the same length. Okay, we're going to do that again. This time we have a different radius. We're going to establish our center. Okay, and then once again, go ahead and let's pick our first point. Make all of our arcs based off of that one. That one got just a little bit off. We'll be okay with that though. So we're going to go ahead and use this one, and this one. You can use 3 different points if you'd like instead. Okay, and there's my equilateral triangle. Okay, the last thing we're going to learn is how to construct a square, inscribed a circle with the given radius. So once again, establish our center and make a circle. Okay, this time we are going to make a diameter. And it doesn't matter, it can be like this, it can be like this. It doesn't have to be, straight through. We're just gonna make it through the center though. It needs to be all the way through the center. Here's our diameter. Okay. Then we're gonna do a perpendicular bisector. So I'm gonna put my point right here. And I'm gonna go more than half. And I'm going to make an arc on that side, and then take this over here and make an arc on that side, and then connect those points. And now what we're going to do is we're going to connect these 4 points on the outside of our circle. So now I have a square that is inscribed or inside a circle. Okay, let's do this again. So once again, we need to establish our center, measure our radius, I'm going to go ahead and draw a diameter. Go a different way this time. We're going to do our perpendicular bisector. So when you go more than half, connect those points. And then we're going to construct our square based on those 4 points on the circle. Okay, there's our square, inscribed in a circle. Okay, I believe we have 2 more on the back, just like that. Little ones this time though. So first I need to do is establish my center. Measure my radius and make my circle. Okay, we're going to go ahead now and draw our diameter. Then we're going to do our perpendicular bisector. So you got more than half. And we're going to connect those 4 points right there. Okay, and there's our final one. You'll notice that I missed just a little bit off there. It's gonna happen once in a while, so it's okay. Just try and get exact as you can. If you're way off though, I would erase it and do it again. Okay, our last few problems are just a review for our test coming up. We wanna learn how to copy a line segment again. So we're gonna go ahead and put a point down here. We're gonna draw a line longer than I think it needs to be. Measure the length of segment AB. Move this point down here. Make sure the arc is big enough that it doesn't get covered by your point. And you would label this A prime and B prime. Okay, and number 10, we want to copy the angle. So I've got room right here to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put my vertex C prime right there. And I'm going to put my bottom ray out. Make this smaller. Make an arc. Make the same arc on this one. Measure the distance between the 2 points that we just created on the arc. Transfer that right here. And now connect C prime to that new point. Make sure there's an arrow at the end. You'll notice I made that arc big enough that I can see it even after I draw the arrow. Okay, we want to bisect the line segment. So we're going to do a perpendicular bisector. I'm going to go more than half. I'm going to go ahead and connect those 2 points. Make sure you put your right angle symbol and your tick marks to show those have the same measure. Okay, our last two, we want to bisect the angle. We're going to do that for both 12 and 13. So we're going to go ahead and make this a little bit smaller. Make an arc that goes all the way across. Put your point here, the new point, make an arc inside. Make an arc inside. Connect those points. Make sure you have an arrow and tick marks to show that both angles have the same measure. Okay, our last one, number 13. Make an arc across. Make an arc there. Make an arc there. Make sure you have an arrow at the end and tick marks on both sides. Okay, we have reviewed on this little review here, we've only done 8.1 and 8.2. So make sure you look over 8.3 and 8.4 as well. We didn't go over 8.3 and 8.4 because 8.3 we reviewed on the warm-up today, and 8.4 is what we just learned today. Okay, so test next time. Also make sure you have your notes for that.